Hi, and thanks for joining us today on Canadian Bacon segment for August the 9th, 2023, around 3:31 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I won't waste any time. We have a short show today. We'll move right to the meat and potatoes of today's market and the Canadian bacon segment of things. So we just focus primarily on Canadian stocks. So let's move quickly to the Canadian stock market and the big boys, the big large cap. So some of my favorites, and I flagged these ones. Royal Bank of Canada seems to be performing well these days. It's up 1.42% on your charts today. Of course, TD, CNR, and CP. I'll mention those a little later in my quick show here. Enbridge, I always love, and Bank of Montreal is doing okay. Bank of Nova Scotia, and of course, if you can get in there at Constellation Software is up quite a lot these days too. So those are the large cap, but the top gainers right here in the Canadian market. We got the Real Brokerage Inc. What else we have? CAE's doing really well at $31.99 Canadian. It's a strong buy these days, and it's moved up 8%. I like quite a few Stella Jones. Let's take a look at Stella Jones these days. Stella Jones. $69.82 Canadian, up $3.31 today for 4.98%. That's of 3:33 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in the Eastern Time Zone. So I always like Stella. So let me just move over to some news for us today. On the news in the stock market for TSX and the American markets, we'll move down something that's happened about 31 minutes ago. This is off the Dow Jones. So we got the Teamsters yellow step up accusations on truckers collapse. And then we have U.S. nat gas jumps over 6% to 5-month peak as hot weather boosts cooling demand. That's interesting. 34 minutes ago, Coinbase launches its own blockchain. What you need to know about Base. This is a little better. Dow edges higher. Tigo Energy shares plunge. Lyft went down today, being August the 9th, 2023. And we're going to run short on time, so I'm going to get to our stocks that we have in the little portfolio for Canadian portfolio, and I'll just go through the news real quick here with you guys. Alibaba recovery and growth prospects drive positive outlook from Mizuho analyst. Canadian Solar's planned U.S. Texas plant wins large module order from EDF. 3 stocks to avoid if this bull market turns bearish. Story of my life. So not too much interesting news lately this afternoon for today's date. On the heat map today, we have, this is your finance section. So I put everything on here for today, good, bad, and the ugly. So let's move to the pretty ones, but you see Royal TD, everything seems neutral. They're in the gray, if you can follow my mouse. And energy minerals are okay. Love Suncor up 2.47% today. So that's really nice. And this is live. Everything we see on your screens is live at the time. Enbridge up 1.52%. And I mentioned to you a little earlier, talk about CNR and CP. You know, CP is a monster now with the purchase of the railway down in the United States. I think it's Kansas, right? My buddy and scary monster Shopify down there is in the red. So let's take a look real quick to see what's in the green. Suncor up 2.47. TD's up. I mentioned the railroads to you. CGI In the communications, you got also Rogers up almost 1%. TELUS 2.37%. Once again, these are all Canadian stocks, right? BCE up almost 1% today. What else do we have? We have a little screener today, and I've loaded up this afternoon, and I have received 41 matches. And I put them in a technical rating in the strong buy, and we can see we have Verilium Energy, VET on the TSX, I believe. It's up $1.19 today at 6.23%, trading at $20.22 Canadian. That's in the energy mineral section. That looks delicious. I like that one. There's that Stella Jones, I tell you. I told you that was a performer. We're up 5% today. Birchcliff Energy down here. Crew Energy. And all the oils are really putting the punches in today and hitting. So if you have a portfolio that's diversified with some of these Canadian buys, you're looking good. So it's a good place to be these days. Surge Energy, Shawcor, Suncor. Suncor's $42.77 Canadian today. It's up $1.04. It's one of the ones I have. And Waste Connections. We're just looking at, this is not my chart. This is just the hot heat chart for Canadian stocks today. SNC Lavalin, like that one. It's up 51 cents. Always good reliability in that one. I told you the CNR and I don't know, CP. My hot dog. Everybody get a hot dog. Maple Leaf Foods, $30.22. So they're not too hot today, but take a look at their chart. Their chart looks always great going up these days. As you can see, it went up, it peaked up August the 9th, and there we go. That's what we're looking like today. So I like Maple Leaf Foods. It's food industry, right? And sometimes they got good peaks and valleys, not so much today. And we'll move over to our own charts. Let's look at the, before we do that, sorry about that. Since it's on your screen, we're looking at the economic calendar. So, of course, I'm doing the Canadian bacon version of things. So, the only thing I see is coming up on August the 15th, all right, for economic news announcements, and that's for the core inflation rate for the MOM. And so that's the only indicator I see coming up on the 15th of August in Canada. A lot of flipping to today's date at this time. I just got to scroll and scroll. Well, there's a lot of, this is a world economic calendar. So we got the UK, Japan, Australia today, August the 9th. And the small announcements got the house price balance in the UK. I think Turkey's got stuff. Italy, CPI final. So how does this influence us? You know how it's all interrelated. So nothing really coming from Canada until that date, as I mentioned to you. Real quickly now, looking at the QQQ. I drew up a little chart this afternoon, but just my little nice little line upwards, and then it broke through around 9:42 this morning. Just broke right down, as you can see, on the QQQ. You got the head and shoulders I put in there too. I sometimes miss that, so that's why I put that in there. The NASDAQ, and got to shrink it up a little bit. It's climbing up this afternoon, but it's been a nightmare. Center over here at this morning, Wednesday. So there you go. And now it's been climbing, the NASDAQ. Let's go over to my stocks, though, real quick. So we have limited time today. Thank you for being with us today, right? I only deal with Canadian stocks. So what we're doing is we mirror the American stocks. So that's where you're going to see. I'm going to split the screen here for you, as I usually do. So the American Apple is on the left, and on the right is the one I trade, which is on the NEO. And as you can see, it's trading presently right now. This is live TV, so it's $26.72 Canadian. It's one I trade. It's sometimes a lot of ripsaw, so I stay away from it. And you can see the market today is kind of very scary. Everything dropped, as you can see on your screen. Everything really dropped badly this morning, around right at 9:30, and then some of these were longer drops, 9:40, 9:50 for Apple. Moving down my chart, so I stayed away from these. As you can see on your screen, a lot of these are in red. Let's scroll down. This is live, right? Live TV. So this is my scroll list. This is what I have. You can see a major portion of it is all in the red. And these are live indicators right now too. So the other one I've been carrying is over here on your screen, AMD. AMD, that's a scary monster if you guys trade that one too. So as you can see, the American counterpart is trading presently at $110.88. And I'm sorry, I'm having a problem with my chart there. And yesterday's looking at it dropping too. The gray area in here is the aftermarket and before hours trading. So that's why that's grayed out on your screens. It's dropped yesterday, AMD, and this is the American version, but you can see the Canadian version over here is almost identical. I prefer to spend $21.51 on a stock right here. It's dropped 49 cents today though. The volatility is not the same as on this American counterpart, plus I have to pay 40 cents on the dollar for the American exchange. So I don't have the same punch counter punch for trading versus Canadian.